Welcome, dear viewers, and welcome to this special also program that we're devoting these days to shed more light on the future of Sudan after separation. There are lots of pending issues and hanging issues nowadays, and we're supposed to solve them. And I have the pleasure to discuss with me and tackle more Mr. Mekki Elmograbi, a political analyst. Welcome, Mr. Mekki.
Welcome, and thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you with us again inside the studio to shed more light and discuss, the pending issues after separation.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mekki, the first thing I want to ask you, the referendum took place in the south, and separation also will take place, as it's clear now, it will also take place in the south, and the south will be separated. So the question here is, there are lots of other states and areas in Sudan. Now they're, looking forward, they want the same thing. They want their own, vote. They want to have their own areas. So can you comment on this thing?
Yes, the separation of South Sudan is going to stir many problems for Sudanese people, and it's going to raise many questions about the plan of division of Sudan. But this phenomenon is not going to cover all Sudan. Not a lot of states or a lot of areas. And now you have a problem in Eastern Sudan, Darfur, and maybe Blue Nile. But other areas of Sudan, they didn't claim any right of this kind of self-determination to have their separation from the mother country.
Do you think they will ask for this thing in the future?
I think some of them will ask, and it is their right to do so. It is not a problem to ask this kind of right to be divided from your country or something like this. It is kind of discussion, political free discussion. But if you don't hold the justification to separate your area, this is going to be just a discussion and debate and argument. And even now in the United States of America, there is the constitutional right for the state of Texas to have their separation from the mother country, because they joined the mother country according to an agreement that they have the right to be separated from United States at the time they want.
Yeah.
But none of the people of Texas now, they are serious in this to practice this right. But there is a discussion.
Okay, Mr. Mekki, do you think also, the self-determination referendum here in Sudan could affect also, the neighboring countries, in Africa? Could they also ask for this thing?
Of course, you have now you have ongoing war, six ongoing wars in Africa. You have 2 wars in Ethiopia, and you have war in Somalia, and already Somalia divided into 3 countries. The country of Mogadishu and the Puntland and Somaliland, and you have problem in eastern Uganda, and now you have the crisis of the desert or Sahara in south of Maghreb or Morocco, and in all African countries you have problems. I heard good comments from an expert from Zambia. Yes, he presented a very good paper in a conference held here in Khartoum, sponsored by African non-governmental organization. His name Joseph Schlingi. Okay, he is the chief of the committee of a branch committee from the Economic and Social Council for African Union. Yes, he said in his paper that the right of self-determination is illegal, and the right of self-determination is against African stability and security.
So you think the self-determination here in Sudan could affect other countries?
Yes, yes, surely.
Okay, the Blue Nile state, Mr. Mekki, they're also, calling for self-determination. What is expected beyond that?
No, I didn't hear any call about.
Can they ask for it?
No, now they are asking for a kind of
There are rumors, you know, yeah, there were just
autonomy.
rumors being said that they will start asking, you know, lots of places now it's heard that
you have even
do
you
you
have
think really officially can they ask for it?
No. You mean legally?
Yes.
They have no legal right to ask for self-determination. They have no constitutional right to ask for self-determination. Even they have no right to ask for semi-autonomy now or more federal authorities.
Why?
Yes, because the law of popular conference, okay, among people now, and they are practicing this law in Blue Nile. This law, can just give you the right to call for more economic rights, okay, but not to make the case of Blue Nile just as the case of Nefasha. And if the Nefasha makers wanted before for Blue Nile and South Kordofan to be just like South Sudan, at that time they had to make an agreement similar to Nefasha. But the agreement or the protocol of South Kordofan and Blue Nile is totally different from Nefasha agreement.
Okay, the tribe of Jenga. It's one of the biggest, you know, tribes in the south. Do you think, you know, it could dominate over there in the south, and it could affect, you know, the other tribes, and could it also, you know, in the future lead to conflicts?
Yes, for 5 years, South Sudan under the domination of Dinka people, for 5 years of Nefasha, and I think this is a joint fault between National Congress Party and SPLM. It is not just the sin of SPLM, because why did National Congress Party allow people of SPLM to dominate and ignoring other tribes? If you talk about the circles of decision making, these circles, the majority is Dinka people. They defend this thing because they have the automatic majority in South Sudan, and they claim that more than 60%, and this is a democratic percentage to dominate any country. But and also you have many problems just like this, because equatorial people are divided to many tribes,
Mr. Mekki,
small tribes.
These things were before, you know, you were speaking before the separation. Can we, you know, be more, you know, specific and talk about after separation really takes place? Yeah, the tribes already, they have conflicts between each other.
Yes.
So what do you expect in the future also after separation will happen? Will it be a disastrous?
This it depends on South-South dialogue. Now we have ongoing South-South dialogue.
Yeah.
And now I know that many of Southern leaders, now they are in Juba discussing this matter. If they succeed to make a good settlement to how to govern South Sudan, they will avoid problems. But if the automatic majority, okay, stick on their rights to dominate people using the automatic majority, this is going to lead them to rebel movements in Equatoria, to a call of separation for Upper Nile, and I think this is going to divide South into at least 3 countries.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you expect from the government, you know, to do?
Government of South Sudan.
Of course, yeah, the government, because I know the government of North Sudan, no anymore. It doesn't have. What shall it do about the South? There are Southerners, and they have their own government after separation.
Now that
and there will be, all people are talking about this thing. Tribes of the South there will be a very big war in the South, conflicts between the Southerners themselves. So how can, you know, the government of the South avoid, you know, before taking even war place, how could they avoid this thing?
Yes, I think now the atmosphere in South Sudan is very gloomy, and no suggestions, no expectations, nothing now we can hold it. But what I can say now, these days is a very important days for Southern Sudanese people. They can make their stability and they can make their instability. And the happiness of the independence is not enough to build your country. People in North Sudan and people in Sudan, they were happy, very happy with their independence in 1956. But after 9 months, of the independence, the parliament made a decision for no confidence for the leader of the independence, Ismail al-Azhari, and they changed him to an opposition, and the conflict split his party into two parties. And after less than 2 years, they lost their democracy and they lost their independence. It is easy to gain independence, but it's easy to lose your independence.
Yeah. The change of the constitution. Now separation will take place, the north and the south. So tell us about the importance of changing, the constitution. Why shall the constitution be changed?
Yes, if I'm not misinformed, I know that the government in North Sudan, the government of Khartoum, the National Congress Party, they are planning now to change the constitution and to involve all political powers, Ummah Party and the Unionist Party led by Al-Marghani and other parties, to involve them in the process of changing the constitution. Okay? And I think this is the main trend now in National Congress Party, and nobody is going to go against this trend. Okay, I think this is very important for Northern people. They have to establish a new constitution, a new concepts for unity of what remained of so-called Sudan or Old Sudan. Okay, if this is a constitutional constant, no one can call for separation for any other area. This is very important.
Yeah. What's your comment about, the NCP is calling all the political forces, to contribute in the change of the constitution and to have also discussions. And, recently President Omar al-Bashir, he invited al-Sadiq al-Mahdi, the chairman of the Ummah Party, and now he's inviting, as you said, al-Marghani. So how do you read these